I'm Lois Taylor, and I've had a long life in dance, and a very varied one, and would completely endorse the presentations that the other people have made. It's been really interesting, and I agree with all of it. I work now as a lecturer at Falmouth University, and I'm also going to be the award leader for a new degree course, Dancing Communities, that's starting there. And I'm also still a freelance dancer and a performer, so just evidence that your performing and dancing life can go on a long time if you want it to. I'm going to talk to you, I'm coming over here because I realise you've been left out a bit. So I'm going to talk to you about dance in education specifically now. Why dance in education? Why take dance into schools? Well, it's on the curriculum, so that's fantastic. But it offers so much to a child's development. It rounds the experience. Many of us learn in different ways. Some people are very visual learners, and some people are very physical learners, kinesthetic learners. Who is a wriggler at school? Yes, me too. Couldn't sit still. But once I could move a bit, I could relax and concentrate and focus on what I was learning. So dance can offer an alternative way of learning for curriculum activities and ideas and topics. Dance obviously is good for us physically. It keeps us healthy, mobile, gets us stronger, flexibility, it's fun, we have a laugh, we enjoy it, it's a great thing to do. So it's good for our all-round health and well-being and happiness. And then all the core skills that lots of people have talked about in terms of developing our skills in communication, collaboration, listening, working physically with other people, learning more about our own bodies and about how to work in a physical relationship with other people. So it has lots of core skills, and of course that discipline that a lot of people have been talking about that you need for a dance career. So it's a very rounded experience that we can bring into schools and into education. So what do you need to do in order to work in education? Well, you could train to be a dance teacher in a school. So you could go off and do a degree, preferably with a dance focus, and then do your PGCE and become a qualified teacher working in schools. Or you can do a 4-year B.Ed, 3 or 4-year B.Ed training. Or there are some new discussions at the moment about having more work-based learning for teachers, where you can work in schools as a teacher, be paid a lower fee from your qualified teacher and go off on day release and have in-school mentoring. So that's an option being discussed now, sort of new way of approaching that is in conversation, but not quite out there yet. So that is you working often in the PE department, sometimes in the arts department, and sometimes in the academies in a dedicated dance department. Working in schools as a school teacher. But you might want to have your relationship with dance in education as part of your career rather than the whole of your career. So in the way that I've done, you might want to train as a dancer. That might be what you want to do first and foremost, and then see how you can take that passion for dance into schools. So you might, for instance, go to a university and train as a dancer, and then develop performance work, project work, and take that back into schools. You might become a choreographer, run a company, like I've done in the past and Deborah's done. And with your performance work, you might be performing at a local theatre, and then run workshops in schools, encouraging young people to come and see your performance work and developing new audiences. Or better still, you might take your work into schools. I'm a big believer in trying to get high-quality dance and performance work in schools, because it's an incredibly democratic way of sharing your dance practice and not making it just available for those that maybe can afford or are encouraged by a family to go to theatre or go to dance classes. So by doing your work in schools, you're reaching many children who might otherwise not have the opportunity to see this wonderful work and participate in it. So you might develop your own creative project. You might think, I've got a brilliant idea, I really want to do this with young people. I think school's the best place to do it. And you might approach schools or clusters of schools to see if they're up for it. And you'd have to talk with them, negotiate with them, inspire them, excite them about your idea. Or you might work with schools as a dance artist to help the school develop their ideas. How can you as a dancer develop the history curriculum, the science curriculum, literacy learning? So you can use your creativity and your wonderful imaginations and your fantastic skills as dancers to work across the curriculum. And myself and lots of other dance workers have done this in many different ways. I've had brilliant times working with paper aeroplanes. I think I need to send one of those in to see where that is. Nearly. So working on science projects, we did a lovely primary school project called the Big Bang. We started the day with a performance for the whole school, and then the dancers went off and ran workshops in the school, and kids were running around being atoms, electrons, protons, neutrons. I learned more about science than I'd ever known. And we looked at forces and gravity, we looked at black holes and outer space, and where stars come from and how stars are made. I've worked on history projects, looking at the mining industry in Cornwall, which is where I'm working at the moment. Children have worked in their classroom sessions, doing research, discovering about the mining industry and about the history in Cornwall, and then bringing all that research and resources into a dance session. And a series of dance sessions, we've used it all to work creatively to choreograph and develop performances for family, friends and the rest of the school. So using the learning as a creative starting point for new work to be developed. I've worked with emotional and social welfare in schools, taking projects to secondary schools around touch and the use of appropriate and maybe less appropriate touch, and how we negotiate and navigate all that as we grow up. And the particular model we had for that was running a workshop, so 2 dancers running a workshop around touch and physical contact, and then the 2 dancers performed just for the group that were taking part in the workshop, and the performance was set in a nightclub and dealt with some of the issues. And then the 3rd stage of that project was sitting down with the students, with the teachers and with the dancers, discussing the issues that were raised through the workshop and through the performance. So depending on where your interest is, you can really take your dance work into such a broad range of subjects when you're engaging with young people and schools, and it's very exciting. What do you need to do that? Well, I did a survey recently of schools and healthcare practitioners and youth service leaders and a range of different people who may buy in the services of dance workers. And I asked them what were they looking for in a dance practitioner, and the word passion came out first. Passion. And then high quality, going back to what Hannah was saying, inspirational. They wanted inspirational work, inspirational performance and inspirational teaching. And then communication skills, empathy, dance practitioners that could have empathy with the participants of their sessions, but also with the organisation they're working with, to understand where the school's coming from, to understand where the residential home that you might be working in is coming from. So being able to look around the situation and not just be thinking about your own offer. And then discipline. They wanted people that were efficient and effective. So you come with a passion. I'm sure you've got the passion already. You come with the passion, and our job in training institutions is to help you develop the skills. So you might want to go to a university like Bath Spa or Falmouth, where I'm working, or the range of other universities that offer great courses, and develop your skills as a dancer, become a really inspiring dancer, become a really creative thinker who can explore your dance practice in a range of ways and inspire other young people. So you've got lots of offers. If you're not going to head off to university, there are other training opportunities in the independent dance sector. You have to seek them out. You have to be a little bit of a dance detective and look up the opportunities, find the organisations like Pavilion Dance and Take Art and all the other organisations that support dancers to develop their career paths. And I would go along with what a few people have been saying here, is think about your career path in dance as a long one. Don't feel like you have to get it all sorted in your 3 years at uni or wherever else you go. You don't. You just need to keep that passion fueled and keep the skills developing to support it, so that you can make your best offer in schools and in education and inspire other people. So good luck when you come to doing it.